Video. In today's video, I feel like I just needed to, talk about this, and I just wanted to get a video out for you guys. I know I haven't really been posting videos, but I've just been really hardcore grinding, and then, the last 2 days I've had some really serious controller issues. I finally got a controller that actually works now, so I missed out on basically a full day of xLSx weapon XP, which has been a real Debbie Downer. But we're back on the grind again. We'll talk to you guys about some Dark Matter stuff, and also why I think Cold War is going to be the best and worst Call of Duty in this new gen, right? In the PS5, Xbox Series X gen. Starting off with why and my future plans on Dark Matter in DM Ultra. So, as it stands right now, as we talk, I am sitting on Diamond ARs, Diamond SMGs, and Diamond LMGs. By the end of this week, I am planning on having Diamond Tactical Rifles and Diamond Shotguns. So I'll have I'll have basically six, I think it's like 6 categories Diamond. Leaving me only 4 categories to go, which would be launchers, including the M79, melee, the knife, and then also leaving me with pistols and snipers. My main reasoning for what I'm about to say is mainly just because I'm finding that it's just not really fun lately to play just on my own, just grinding. There's some weapons that I just don't feel kind with. I don't enjoy using, period, and I think they're obsessive for the challenges. Also, for anyone knowing here, I got Season Master card for zombies. You can see it there in the bottom corner. I'm officially Season Master for zombies. So I've done everything. But going into it, I am planning on holding off on getting Dark Matter. My future plan is maybe to do this every season, do a couple sets of weapons, and when I get it is when I get it. I personally like Diamond. Probably the purple Diamond is probably my favorite camo in this game in general, honestly. I just feel like it's the most best looking. Dark Matter on zombies is definitely better than DM Ultra, but I still have my problems with it just because of the way it looks on guns. I don't feel like it does the guns justice. Unlike Diamond, which actually covers the entire gun, if not in the diamonds, it covers in the purple lacing. And that is why I kind of am going to stick off once I get Diamond ARs. Once I get Diamond Tactical Rifles and Diamond Shotguns, I'm kind of going to hold off. Because I'm going to be doing the rest of the guns in the game. So, before I did Diamond SMGs, I did the MAC-10 and not the KSP. But I think I will go back and do the KSP, get Diamond anyway. And I'm also going to go back and get the Groza from the AR category, the DLC AR, get that Diamond. And I will be also getting the Street Sweeper Diamond, and I will be getting any future DLC, LMGs, Tactical Rifles, Diamond as well. So that's kind of my plan, my game plan. I think next season, I'm going to focus on snipers and zombies, or even pistols and zombies. And then maybe the next season do RPGs and the melee. What are you melee this season still? I don't know. Kind of, well, it depends. My reasoning for this, we can sit here right quick and we can see that I have a couple level grind guns. These are my 3 main guns that I'm working on ranks for, just because I need to get these guns to 50. These ones I'm like 3 off, 2 off, so I'm not really super worried about it. So overall I'm not too worried. These are all done. These are like kind of like my standard classes I'll be using for zombies for my full games. But my knife, I don't know if it's down here or not. Do they have a knife? They do not have a knife. Okay, so you can see here my pistol is like my Knife 11 and my my Damati. I was gonna say DM Ultra, Jesus. The Diamati or Diamati, whatever you call it. I call it the RK7. Basically, it's the same thing from Black Ops 4. Those guns, those 2 pistols are almost the max strength for camo, so I may still get those gold and work on the revolver later on. So I may do pistols this season on top of the ARs and attack rifles and shotguns. It really just comes down to the fact of how I'm feeling mentally, if I'm exhausted or not. Like right now, I've been kind of exhausted from the ARs, SMGs, and LMGs. But being that I'm almost basically done all the ranks for the tactical rifles and shotguns, I feel like the camos come really quickly. I got a lot of camos while doing the levels for the guns anyway, which helps. So that's my plan for that. So probably won't have a Dark Matter video this season, unless I can somehow get the 3 launchers that I need to get gold. I can get those done if I feel like I can get those done fast. But I have to get them rank 30 before I can even work on all the camos. And the camos are a whole other problem on its own. So I don't know. It's really gonna come down to how I am, if like mentally, when it comes to doing these challenges. Well, oh, hello, zombie. I did not know you were a walker. You're a crawler. And now on to why this is probably the best and worst Call of Duty in future generations. So, I've talked a lot on this channel before about how bad Modern Warfare was and how bad BO4 was and how good World War II, Infinite Advanced, MW2, and past Call of Duties have been. And if you remember a lot of things that I had complaints with on Modern Warfare, a lot around map design, weapon design, time to kill, streak designs, how they did their post-launch season information. You would know kind of how I sit with Call of Duty, in my opinion, on how they run things and how they should operate things. And someone made a video, I'm gonna say his name, just because, but DK Dynamite did a video, I was watching it. I like the guy, he does a lot of good content, I appreciate his content. But something he said, I don't really agree with. And I'm not gonna, you know, be like rude about it, I'm just gonna say my opinion on it. And just like his opinion, I honored his opinion. But he said about how, the Treyarch picked up after Sledgehammer. That's not true. Sledgehammer was fired way before this game would be even close to being finished. And Treyarch has done projects like that. BO4 had its entire campaign scrapped last minute, and they had to focus on Blackout. Blackout was pretty much a last minute thing, and that turned out, most would say, very well. And there's still a lot of my friends that still prefer Blackout over, still prefers it over Warzone. So this whole excuse of, well, they started late, and they had to start late, no, that's excuses. We don't make excuses anymore. We're done excuses for COD. That's the problem with COD. They've had too many times where excuses were allowed, and that's the major issue. And that's kind of where I want to go from there, right? Yes, Sledgehammer did slowly work on this game. This was their game. But Treyarch would never, Treyarch and Activision would never have allowed Sledgehammer to release a game called Black Ops. No way. No, there's no way. That is a trademark specifically to the Treyarch franchise. As a Treyarch name, that is a, you know, that's their property. Just like you're not gonna have Sledgehammer release their own Modern Warfare with the name Modern Warfare. That's not gonna happen. And if it does, I'll be very surprised. I love Treyarch, and I think they are, in my opinion, still one of the best Call of Duty franchises of all time. They have, in my opinion, never released a bad game. If there's issues with their games, they always fix them. Many will hate on Advanced Warfare because they sucked at it, but it was an amazing game, It had, in my opinion, one of the best balances in COD history. It had some issues at start, and there was definitely one or two guns that were overpowered, but most of everything else was mostly balanced, for the most part, which is not what I can do. And I just don't see them leaving this game on a bad note. I really don't. I feel like the multiplayer has hints. That's not what that is. It has hints of the initial Treyarch's design, Sledgehammer's design of the game. But I definitely feel like we are blaming this way too much on the fact that Treyarch left, and Sledgehammer left, and Treyarch had to pick it up. When Sledgehammer, from what I understand from the news articles are usually pretty late because of, you know, cases, because you can't just say, well, they released the topics, they released the article saying this and this and this were fired. Those things are usually either a couple months or maybe even years old, until the case is fully resolved. Just like a criminal case, the criminal case will not go live until pretty much after it's resolved in some form. Because of legal reasons. They can't release that information until it's, you know, set in stone. So, and that wasn't released until 2019, right? By this point in 2019, the most Sledgehammer would have been done by that point is probably campaign. It takes them about a year or so to make the campaign in modern CODs. Now, back in the olden days when COD was a yearly cycle, like every 2 years, it was the same company, so it'd be Infinity War, then Treyarch, then Infinity War, then Treyarch. They were faster, mainly because they had, they only had a year to make it so they were faster. Now they have a 3-year lifespan, roughly 3 years, to make the title, which is a perfect example of that they have way more time than they used to, and they make games even more shittier than they used to. That's why I think COVID is a weak excuse. COVID did this and COVID did that. Yeah, you're working in a franchise that does not require you to be at a workplace. It does not. I know plenty of programmers who work from home, and they worked from home since before COVID. And that's the problem, is we're blaming everything on COVID when no one's really educated on how this all works. Right? No one can fool you. They can do a lot more than you think they can from home. Literally the entire postseason of Cold War so far has been done from home, and I would say pretty much that it's pretty damn good. We'll get back to that in a minute here. So the game itself, from the core, I like a lot. I like the movement systems, I like the weapon design, I like the map design, I like a lot of it, right? But what I'm trying to get across is we need to hold Treyarch where it needs to be accountable. We blame all this on Activision, we blame all this and this and this and that and this and that and COVID and all this other bullshit. But the people that are making the issues and not listening to the fan base. And I hate to beat a dead horse here, but if we go back to towards the beginning of the life cycle for Cold War, when a couple months, like a month or so into the release, Bonhart came out on Twitter, physically told people that we should be happy they're even working on the game. From a business standpoint, that was a hard... You don't say that to your customers, right? Because we pay money for your product. That's not how that works, right? McDonald's doesn't come out and tell you, oh, you know what, we should just be happy we're making your food. No. No. That's not how that works. You pay a certain amount of money for a product, and they're, like, supposed to fulfill on that product. And they promise us all this post-content and all this work to be done. That was a part of the deal, right? And that's what my major issue with the game is people are saying, well, it's Treyarch, and they made Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 has nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. Period. Black Ops 2 is irrelevant. It's dead game. It's over. Let the fuck go. Let it die. It's gone. Let it go. This constantly holding on to Black Ops 2, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 2. Let it go. Alright? It's over. You don't hear me, who, is Modern Warfare 2, which is one of my most played CODs. You don't hear me sitting here constantly talking about how great Modern Warfare 2 is. I've let that game die. It's over. It's never coming back. The style of the game is never coming back. They're never going to remaster it. If they do, it'll be fucking terrible. They'll fucking ruin it like they did in MWR. That's just the truth, right? What we need to do is respect the games we did have that are recent, that did a lot of positives for us as a gaming community. People hate on Infinite, but I just died. That's great quality. That's content right here. This is content. But that's what we need to remember. Like, Infinite Warfare did so much positives for our gaming franchises. People like Merc Music who keep bad-mouthing Infinite. I don't really understand why bad-mouth it. Because you suck at it? That's how I feel. Because I put hundreds of hours in COD. Even a COD I didn't like. Modern Warfare, I still put 5 days into it. I hated the game. I never broke more controllers than when I was playing Modern Warfare. I put thousands of dollars into BO3 trying to get DLC weapons. I've put hundreds of dollars in this game already. I literally just put another $40 in this game today, getting the new DLC melee weapon, and then getting the tracer round pack for the M4. I mean, I put money into these games. I put a lot of money in them. And I'm okay with voicing concerns. When Infinite Warfare was out and there was concerns about the game I had, I voiced them. But that game didn't need me to voice them constantly. I didn't need to constantly remind people how bad the game was so people would understand. I didn't have to. Because the game was a solid game. They worked on it as much as they possibly could. They listened to the fan base, made sure the game was designed well. Right? Even when they made mistakes, they fixed them right off the bat. Literally had a gun, they made a mistake and made it aimbot, and they fixed it in less than 24 hours. I went to sleep at midnight and I woke up at 9 AM and had the gun fixed ready. So, they listen. Now switching back over to Cold War, which is initially what I'm trying to talk about. Cold War, we've had issues non-stop since release. We've had non-stop bugs. Our camos are basically useless. I mean, it's saying I have 5 out of 9 sections done for Dark Matter, even though I only have 3. The weapon level system is horrendously long. The levels, they literally steal levels from me constantly. I would be about 400 by now, but that's how many levels that I would be in a game and see the level up option, and then it go away. It would just vanish when I get back to the lobby. There's some serious issues in this game, and they don't seem to care. We still have the fucking, you know, I forget what they call it, but I just call it the fucking speedrun glitch, which basically is when you hold out a sting grenade, you can run around the shotgun and basically hit fire without any punishment, right? And this still exists. Warzone is complete shambles at this point. Even after the recent updates, as far as I know, it's still in shambles. Like, it's still not in good condition, that's an issue on its own, right? And what have they done? Nothing. They don't even know how to make proper camo challenges that aren't crazy super hard. I mean, you get the new melee weapon. If you don't buy it, you have to get multiple finishers in different games, which is just stupid. That shouldn't exist. And Infinite Warfare had the perfect setup, and I hate to go back to Infinite Warfare, but this is a prime example of what good gaming design looks like. Infinite Warfare had a function where, to get the new DLC pistol, I'm going to use the pistol for example because I actually remember this challenge. It was get 200 kills with a pistol with quick draw, a reticle, and an accessory attachment. That's literally all you had to do. Get 200 kills. That's it. Took you about 2 hours if you were horrible. If you were very good like I was, it took me about 30-40 minutes. Played 2 domination games, got 50 to 100 kills, and called it a day. Challenge completed. Super simple, super clean, super easy. And it was done. There was no punishment about, oh, you gotta play through the whole game. No, there's none of that. It was straight to the fucking point. Straight to the point. This con is getting too focused on making you play more. All it does for players like me who play competitively, who have over 10,000 nuclears earned on my name. I've earned 3,000 in Advanced Warfare, 3,000 in Modern Warfare 2, hundreds of thousands of hours in the COD. They just make me not want to play the game. Those challenges, they don't even seem worth it. Even Dark Matter doesn't even seem worth it. I've only been playing this game because, you know, my friends play it, and it's good content for you guys, and it gives me something. It gives me a new COD to grind because, you know, World War II had pretty much 100% of the game already. But like, if I enjoyed BO4 or if I liked Modern Warfare, I would play those games. Because even though I hate Modern Warfare, I love the weapons and I wanted to get Damascus. I just didn't like the way that its SPM is. But if it didn't have SPM, I'd probably be on the Damascus front. This whole system COD has gotten itself into is horrible. I mean, it has done nothing to benefit the player. We're constantly being told that we should be thankful. They're constantly ignoring issues that are clearly visible. Like, I'm not sure how many of you guys actually play Global War, but if you play multiplayer at any point, and you have any common sense whatsoever, you have to notice that the tactical rifles and dual pistols have been literally broken. Which is fine. I think a semi-auto rifle should have the ability to take down a fully auto rifle, but not to the extent that they have in this game. Like, tactical rifles literally outgun SMGs in close range. Literally outgun them. It's a semi-auto. You're shooting slower. A gun that might shoot 1,000 bullets per second, right? Or whatever, right? It's being outgunned by a gun that you have to push the trigger every time you want a bullet to come out. That is not right. That should not exist. Period. But we've allowed it to be okay because the majority of players either use cheats, using you know, I forgot if they're like control packs or mod packs over in your controller, or they're using hacks on PC, or they're using exploits, or they're boosting or camping or spawn trapping, and these are the issues that COD needs to work on. Instead of working on skill-based matchmaking, you need to work on your fucking game and work on your fucking matchmaking in general, because it's not right. It's not right at all. It's not. I mean, skill-based matchmaking, there's tons of statistics out there showing that it's hurting the fan base as a general. They're losing pro players. I mean, it's come to the point where pro players are coming out on Twitter and literally saying they're quitting Call of Duty because they don't want to play with skill-based matchmaking. That is a big money loser. Yeah, Call of Duty pays at least, you know, professional players a lot of money to play the game. That's obvious. But if your professional players don't want to play your game, who is going to publicize it for you? Because I'd be damn sure fucking some bungit fat kid who plays Call of Duty like 7 days a week because he doesn't have a job, he lives in his mom's basement, on YouTube it has 5 subscribers, that gets 1 view per video, he is not going to give you good publicity. He's not. But someone who is fit, better looking, good at Call of Duty, who has millions of subs, millions of views, you know, they may not be the smartest person individual on the planet, but they're going to give you good publicity because people like seeing that shit. So if they're leaving you as a company, you need to be scared because that's their money route. And as much as people say, well, quickscoping is not a thing, and no one cares about KD, and no one cares about competitive esports, those are the things that keep COD alive. To everyone out there who says quickscoping shouldn't be a thing in COD, or esports shouldn't be a thing, then COD shouldn't be a thing. Because it's literally what COD is. It's an esports game. It's a, you know, a very fake game. It's not, you know, it's not meant to be taken seriously, super seriously. It never has. Even World of War was never meant to be taken super seriously. And that's a serious problem in the COD community. We've allowed for people to, you know, allow themselves to think that they know exactly how COD is. And that's not true at all. I've never played a COD game where it was meant to be taken seriously. Ever. Even in the COD campaigns, it was never meant to be taken seriously. That's why they're fictional, most of the time. But yeah, these are serious issues in COD, and I think, no offense to Mert Music or anyone, or DK, Dynamite, no offense, I like them guys, you know, I watch their content a lot, actually. There's meant to be no offense to them. I'm not trying to be rude to them in any way or shape or form. I'm just wanting people to open their eyes and realize that just because you don't appreciate a COD game doesn't mean that it should be automatically banned, you know, forgotten about, made fun of constantly, right? Like, I get it if that COD game isn't exactly what you wanted, that's fine. But there's no reason to sit here and badmouth it. There really isn't. There's no reason whatsoever. But anyway, my whole thing here is we kind of talk about the things that I didn't like. Now let's kind of get into what I did like about Cold War, what it did right. Zombies. I loved it. I mean, I haven't liked zombies like this since Infinite. And I kind of want to say I put more hours into this zombies than I did Infinite. Because this I literally got to rank 300 on Infinite. I mean, on zombies alone. Infinite I got to rank 200, but I gave mostly multiplayer. And I think that is where people are coming from. I mean, if you like zombies, this is the game for you. And I always tell people about, you know, this game because I actually need this gun. That's actually perfect. If you like zombies and that's your thing, I will recommend this game all the time. Even to people who don't like zombies, you know, or never really play zombies, and you know they say they want to get Cold War, I'll be like, get Cold War, but don't get it for PvP. You know, get it for zombies because that's where it's good at. That's where it excels at. The campaign might not be my thing. I didn't really care for the way they, you know, designed the campaign. But I like the story. I like the atmosphere of the story. I like the Cold War area. I think it's a really interesting era that a lot of people know about, you know, the truth about it. So I find it interesting. So great thing on them, isn't it? I'm not a huge fan of the Team TTK in this game. The time to kill kind of sucks on multiplayer. But I do like the way they did zombies and how they did the time to kill and how they did, you know, starting out weapons. Those are all things that I think they did a really solid job with. And I think right now as it stands, if this game didn't have skill-based matchmaking, I think this game could have been one of the best Call of Duties we've ever had. That's a genuine thing. This skill-based matchmaking has seriously damaged this game's reputation. And that's why the sales are showing that. So, see, we keep seeing all these so-called things online saying, oh, Modern Warfare is Cold War is the most selling game of 2020. Well, yeah, 2020. The year people literally bought everything. I mean, I literally never usually buy a bunch of different games. And I bought, you know, it's actually Valhalla. I bought fucking Cold War. You know, I played a lot of fucking Fall Guys and Fortnite. And I bought things that I usually don't buy. Why? Because this is probably the one year that, you know, this stuff is actually decent. You know, we're all trying to, you know, experiment on new things, experiment on new ways to play video games or what new games to play. And that's how it's been for me. I've been finding new games to play. And I think this game has seriously, and it shows, because Modern Warfare on its first day launch, or first thing, it was like first day or first month or whatever, made $680 million. I think it was the first day. I think it was launch day, made $680 million. Cold War's only made about $670 million in its first 3 months. That's huge. That's drastically different. You know, we keep seeming to not understand that just because a lot of our friends have the game, America and Europe has always been like the big areas for COD. Places like China, they don't allow COD, so they have their own thing called Chinese Call of Duty Online. As you've probably seen if you watch my music, he does a lot of that content, which is some of my favorite. Mert, please do more Chinese COD Online, please. It's awesome. Anyway, but yeah, those are serious things. Like that's a serious problem, is because COD doesn't reach the whole world. It doesn't. And I know from like Call of Duty Ghosts, going back and looking at that game, a lot of people that play that game are from the U.S., mostly Eastern United States. From what I can see in the little world map, they show up like what players play what. And that for me is a huge thing, because if a game that old is still surviving, and it's supposedly the worst COD of all time, or second to worst behind like what people say Infinite is or Advanced Warfare is, I think that's a serious issue. And yeah, I think that Cold War is slowly dying, slowly but surely. And I just want to briefly touch before I end the video, because this video is getting kind of long, on the postseason content. The postseason content is a fucking doozy. It's a doozy. I mean, they said that this is going to be the best and biggest, boldest season of all COD history. That this game was going to have amazing postseason content. It was going to be the largest game ever, right? I haven't seen that shit yet. Some people are saying that it's because of COVID. I call lies. Because they have added plenty of stuff in the item shop for you to spend money on. Plenty. There's plenty to spend money on. I forget who it was. He was like a YouTuber who usually buys all the stuff in item shops or deals, whatever there is you can buy. COD game, he'll buy it all. And he literally spent over $1,000. That was the first week the season came out, and they had literally over hundreds of different bundles of items to get. That shows me, right, that they have plenty of time to make content, but they're focusing purely on the fact of item shop to make money. People really hate supply drops, right? But World War II is, I'm 1,041 days played, 500 nuclears, thousands of 100+ kill games, you know, both secret camos, all weapons in the game, and I'm still getting new things. Like 4 years later, and I still go on there and open supply drops getting new things. That is what I want in the COD game. I want CODs that have so much content that I can come back years down the road and still get content. Cold War is not that. Once I get these guns diamond, if I decide not to go for Dark Matter, I'm gonna have nothing to grind for. I already have most Master Cards in the game. I have the Season 1 Master Card already. The only thing I really have to grind is Dark Matter and my rank. And there's no point in me grinding my rank to 1,000 as much as I want to. There's really no point in me stressing about it, because it's gonna get reset. It's gonna get reset anyway. So what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point of actually wasting my time trying to get to 1,000 for 2 days, and just show my pictures on my friends list and say, hey, look, we're 1,000, and then it's gone forever. Then I gotta do it all over again. So that's the type of shit to talk about. Like, that makes me mad, is because people just don't understand what grinding is. I think Treyarch just think that, and Infinity War 2, they're both at fault for this, thinking that grinding is just having some really hard challenges, and that's it. And that's not at all what it is. Grinding's not about hard challenges. It's about content that is easy, but a lot of it. Perfect examples. These calling card challenges you saw me get, one of them. Get 10,000 kills to get a calling card. That is grinding, because it's not hard. but it does take a while. And should there be hard challenges? Absolutely. Absolutely, there should be some hard challenges. Because season 1 challenges were perfect. Some of them were hard, they were more tedious, but it was worth it, right? One of the challenges was get 500 mental kills in zombies. Didn't seem that hard. It was just tedious. But that's fine. They can have challenges like that. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. What the problem is, right, is these challenges that are super, super, super hard for no reason. Like, no. It shouldn't be these super, super hard challenges. There shouldn't be. It should be a little more fair and more balanced to players like me. Like me, I have, you know, I don't have my job no more, unfortunately, but when I had my job, I had school, I had a couple hours a day. That's it, to play. There's not a lot you can get done in a couple hours. Not a lot. Now I have a whole Saturday, Sunday, and Friday to do things. So it's a little bit easier. But for the most part, it's still tedious. And I fear that going into college is going to be even harder for me to get, you know, good, you know, content and good grind going, because, you know, college is going to take up more time. And that's what I fear of COD. COD is turning into a game like Fallout, and not that those games are bad, but those games are hardcore grind games that you have to like put hundreds of hours in. You know, that's just the truth. Anyone will tell you those games are built for longer grinds. COD is a 2-year to 3-year life cycle. I should be able to earn everything in that year. Mostly everything. There should be still options to do, like, to get stuff later on, right? And that's a serious thing that this game does not have. And that's why I think post content right now has been really weak. This game has nothing. This game has nothing post content. Other than a couple new weapons, some remake maps that don't even fall into the Cold War time period, like fucking Raid doesn't even fall. That's like futuristic. That doesn't even fall into whatever. No zombies maps. You have no zombie maps. I'd rather pay $15 and be guaranteed a zombie map than not pay anything yet at all and have to wait a ton more weeks to get the zombie map. It's just like, come on, man. Like, it's ridiculous. It's offensive. It's disrespectful to the zombie community. And as someone who's basically joining the zombie community because I don't really like PvP no more, the way it's going, I'm disgraced. Like, I feel disgraced too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel disrespected that we haven't gotten barely any content. We got a fucking garbage ass mode called Crank, which in theory would be cool, but it's literally impossible to have any fun in that mode, solo or with teams of 4. And that's how I view it. I think what would be a good road for post-season content would be every 2 weeks have an update with new items. Instead of doing this bullshit where we do one massive update in the middle of the year, one massive update at the beginning of the season, one in the middle of the season, one at the end of the season. We need to have every 2 weeks a new update. Every season should go for at least 2 months, right? And there should be better breaks between the two. And they need to build and space that more that they can actually drop more content. So instead of dropping, let's say 3 maps in the middle of the season, drop 1 map every 2 weeks. Drop a new game mode every 2 weeks. Drop new weapons every 2 weeks. Break it up. Don't put your weapons in the battle pass. We need to stop that. To make the battle pass worth to buy, put more variants, take out the stickers, put camos, put that type of stuff in there. The variants, the comic cards, character skins, so on. But this needs to stop with this whole fucking putting stickers and sprays. No one cares about sprays. Like, it would be okay if they're cool sprays, but have it on their garbage sprays. And I can't tell you how many times on a daily basis I actually care about the sprays. I can't tell you. I don't think I've ever used the sprays. And that's my opinion on it. And that's another thing. Bring back DLC camos. Why are we not doing DLC camos anymore? Like, what happened? Why are we not doing it anymore? Like, those are some of the funnest things to get in COD. Like, what do you mean? Like, some of the best camos in Black Ops 3 were DLC camos. Like, what happened to them? Why are they not a thing anymore? It's a missed opportunity. So yeah, so that's how I view it, and I think that the COD community is really struggling right now we're kind of like the United States political system right now. We're really torn between professional players and garbage players. We're torn because me and the rest of the professional players who play this shit, you know, and who are really, really damn good, who have put hundreds of hours in the games, we feel we're not represented and we feel we're not heard in the COD community. We have no say. But cheaters and people who are garbage, who only play an hour a day because they have a so-called life, which in reality is a lousy excuse because I have a life and I still put plenty of hours in the game, whatever, think that they should have everything handed to them and think that the game should be, the skill-based matching should be a thing. If they only knew that they can literally nerf you mid-game. They can literally nerf you mid-game. Go on a game, right? Find a lobby where you can go super, super positive and get on like a 20 or 25 kill streak, and I promise you, you will feel the instant nerf. Promise you, I feel it. We shouldn't be punishing good players. That is terrible. That is terrible. There's no reason to punish good players. There's no reason for it. There really isn't. Yeah, that's how I view it, right? Because we're a torn community, and we need to come together because we don't know how much longer COD's gonna last. Some people say, "Oh, COD's far from dead. Oh, COD's not gonna die." I think it is. Look at Battlefield. Battlefield, everyone said, "Oh, that game will never die. That game is far from dead." Even the whole controversy with I just died. Feels bad. Even the controversy around, you know, Battlefield 5, and that game is dead. No one's caring. No one's talking about Battlefield 6. They literally gave up on Battlefield 5. They literally threw all their content out in one big giant push when they released the recent batch of weapons a couple months ago. I think it was last year, beginning of like 2020, I think it was. And they gave up on that game. They gave up. I feel like that's what COD's turning out to be. It's giving up. It's slowly, so Activision is slowly sucking the life out of this franchise. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave the video off there. If you guys want like a part 2 where I can go in better explanation on some things I don't like about this game, I will. I just feel like this video is gonna be very long, and I don't want it to be too long to bore you guys out. I love COD, but I think it is coming to an end. I think it is struggling to stay alive. Honestly, it is. But we'll have to wait and see what happens, man. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Thank you guys for watching. And till the next one, it's been your boy. Stay one of a kind. Peace.